The week began like any other in the bustling office of Sterling Technologies, a mid-sized software company. Employees shuffled into their cubicles, the air buzzing with a hum of conversations, coffee machines, and the faint clatter of keyboards. The IT department, situated at the far corner of the open-plan office, was particularly active. Jake Dawson, the resident IT technician, had a challenging task ahead, setting up several new computers and printers for the upcoming project deadline. Jake, known for his efficiency but also for cutting corners, grabbed a single power strip and began plugging in multiple devices. "This should work just fine," he muttered under his breath, ignoring the manufacturer's warnings printed on the strip. The tangle of wires quickly became a chaotic mess, spilling onto the floor. Lisa Carter, the meticulous office administrator, passed by and noticed the disorder. Her brow furrowed as she remembered a recent email about workplace safety. Approaching Jake, she hesitated. She didn't want to come off as nagging, especially since Jake had a reputation for brushing off concerns. "Jake," she finally said, her voice cautious, "are you sure that power strip can handle all those devices? It looks overloaded." Jake glanced up with a dismissive wave. "Relax, Lisa. I've done this 100 times. These strips are built for heavy loads." Lisa frowned but decided not to push further. In the back of her mind, she thought of escalating the issue but was soon distracted by another task. As the morning progressed, Tom Willis, the office janitor, made his rounds. The smell of fresh coffee mixed with a faint scent of cleaning products as he tidied up desks and emptied trash bins. When he reached the IT department, the sight of the tangled cables caught his attention. "That doesn't look right," he muttered, shaking his head. Tom had been in the building long enough to notice the small signs of trouble, but like Lisa, he figured someone else would handle it. "Not my problem," he thought, pushing his cart down the hall. Around noon, subtle signs of trouble began to appear. The lights flickered momentarily, causing a murmur to ripple through the office. Lisa's computer suddenly shut off, forcing her to reboot. Frustrated, she glanced toward the IT corner and saw Jake smacking a stubborn printer. The power strip was visibly strained, with its red indicator light blinking erratically. Meanwhile, in the break room, Rebecca Simmons, a senior manager, skimmed through her emails while sipping tea. One subject line caught her eye: electrical safety reminders, important, from the company's safety officer. Rebecca sighed and flagged it for later. People never take these things seriously until something goes wrong, she thought, turning her attention to an incoming call. By mid-afternoon, the situation took a darker turn. A faint burning smell began to spread through the office. Employees exchanged puzzled looks but continued working, assuming it was coming from outside. Tom, making his second round, noticed the smell and followed it back to the IT corner. His heart sank as he saw thin wisps of smoke rising from Jake's workstation. "Hey, Jake," he called out, his voice urgent. "Something's burning over here." Jake turned, his face paling as he noticed the smoke for the first time. He bent down to inspect the power strip, which was now hot to the touch. "It's fine," he said, more to himself than anyone else. As he reached to unplug it, a sudden pop echoed through the office, followed by a shower of sparks. The sparks landed on the nearby curtains, igniting them instantly. Flames began to spread, licking up the fabric as employees froze in shock. Tom acted quickly, yelling, "Fire! Everyone out!" The office erupted into chaos as employees scrambled to grab their belongings. Rebecca rushed out of her office, taking charge. "Leave your things. Evacuate now," she shouted, her voice cutting through the panic. Lisa joined Rebecca, guiding people toward the emergency exits. The fire alarms blared, their shrill tones adding to the sense of urgency. Jake, coughing from the smoke, tried in vain to extinguish the flames with a small office extinguisher. The fire had already spread to nearby furniture, rendering his efforts futile. Tom grabbed a larger extinguisher from the wall but quickly realized the fire was growing too fast to contain. He backed away, coughing as thick smoke filled the room. Within minutes, the local fire department arrived, their red truck screeching to a halt outside the building. Firefighters in full gear stormed into the office, hoses at the ready. They worked quickly and efficiently, dousing the flames before they could spread to other parts of the building. As the smoke cleared, the once bustling IT corner was now a charred ruin. The power strip was barely recognizable, melted into a heap of plastic and metal. The smell of burnt electronics lingered in the air. Jake sat on the curb outside, his head in his hands. Lisa handed him a bottle of water, her expression a mix of relief and frustration. "I told you," she said softly. Jake looked up, his eyes red from the smoke. "I should have listened," he admitted, his voice hoarse. Rebecca stood nearby, speaking with the firefighters and taking notes for the incident report. One of the firefighters confirmed that the cause of the fire was the overloaded power strip. This was preventable, he said bluntly. The next day, the office was quiet, the usual energy replaced by a somber atmosphere. Rebecca called for an emergency safety meeting. Every employee gathered in the conference room, where a slideshow about electrical safety was displayed on the projector. Lisa stood up to speak, her voice steady. "Yesterday's incident could have been a disaster. We were lucky no one was seriously hurt. But luck isn't a safety strategy. If you see something wrong, say something. Speak up. It could save lives." The employees nodded, many of them still shaken by how close they came to disaster. Rebecca outlined new safety protocols, including mandatory power load checks for all workstations, clear guidelines for using power strips and extension cords, regular safety inspections by trained personnel, a zero-tolerance policy for ignoring safety guidelines. A new sign was installed in the break room and near the IT department. Electrical safety is no joke. Overloading sockets can cost lives. Every moment matters. Every choice counts. Stay informed, stay prepared, and most importantly, stay safe. Hit like if you learned something new, subscribe for more safety insights, and turn on notifications so you never miss a life-saving tip. This is Prime Shield, shielding lives, one story at a time.